Hello, this is Kelly from Root Pursuit, and today we are talking about the things that I keep for junk journals, all the junk that I keep that you probably throw away. So this is kind of a great list of things that you maybe weren't sure what people use to put in their junk journals. We know about all the decorative stuff, the embellishments, the scrapbooking paper, but what's the core stuff that we use that to put in our junk journals that makes them a junk journal? So, all right, so I've got stamps, used stamps from envelopes that I tear off. So if I get those in the mail, I always check my mail to make sure I don't have any cool ones there. So I've got those. Book pages, homework from, this is like homework from some kind of math class, engineering classes, music pages, book pages, of course, any kind of graph paper, word search and crossword puzzles, and old forms like guest checks and phone call forms and address books. Specifically, this is an address book I got recently. I keep all of these dividers for the tabs, with the tabs, library cards, let's see, dictionary pages, and ledger paper, and maps. That just about covers everything in there. But some of this stuff gets a little bit interesting, and this is where we really, this is the real nitty gritty right here. Okay, here we go. Let's see what this is. This is from a package of, what was it, like Mediterranean rice frozen, and this happened to be on there. So, and all of these little cards and bits were just part of the decoration on that box, so I cut those parts out. This is the label on some vintage sewing materials, Hobby Lobby receipt. Lots of these binders, like ribbon binding and so forth. They make wonderful little papers. Some of them even have writing on the back, a business card, ticket stubs, cute little labels for craft supplies, tags from a shirt, more craft supplies. This was a little guide from, oh, I don't know what it was, calligraphy pens. So this was a cigarette paper box, a tag for some clothing, more clothing tags, some Amtrak tickets from way back. This is a envelope. I don't know what this was. You can take the girl out of the leather, but you can't take the leather out of the girl. I don't know what that was from. I have no idea. Buttons and cuff links, beads tag. This is some kind of a little card that came with a craft item. The Canasta official rules from an old game, and more Canasta scorecards. Those are fun. This is a whole collection of what is that called? The family, what is it called? Family circle? Circus. Comic books from, I think these are from the 80s, I want to say. Just a card, a coupon. This was in a book, fell out of a book. That's from like, oh, it says 1974 right on it. Antique vintage bag for McCrory, the variety place. So that's really cool. Some old scorecards and on a letterhead. Recipes. This was from a card, but it looks vintage, but I do actually keep old recipe cards. This is a stamp well, a guy who sent me stamps, so that's why they're on the envelope, so that one was special. More of the seam tape. This could be used as a pocket. Let's see. I love the seam binding ones. Some pretty packaging, more seam binding, front and back. There's one in here where it's got like some really cool illustrations. I don't know how I'm gonna make it so I can use both sides. And the one that I really like, oh, these got much more comics. Box for an old Hearts card game. Cloth tape. This is the one. Look at that image on the inside. So it's bias tape, 15 cents, 5 yards, Scarlet 76. And then that little girl's on the back. Oh, she's delightful. This is actually from me. This is 1866. I have a bunch of these from my personal collection of my great-great-grandfather. Another business card. This is some kind of a magazine tarot bookmark. This is the label off of a hot sauce. Another foundry tabs. That was like from a craft item. A little card from like socks or something. Yarn. Oh, it's yarn. This came out of a Reader's Digest. This was a wildflower stationery assortment. Some kind of a, I think this was in a book maybe? Not sure. Instructions, patterns, cross-stitch patterns. Okay, what else? Oh, and I forgot the first thing, which is I always keep all my junk mail envelopes. That was one of the first things I started collecting. These are the DMV envelopes. And then I also collect my tea bags. So, 4 little pockets. Okay, so what else do we have? Now, this is another little bin that I have. So, paper bags from like gift shops. If you have books from that were formerly library books, and usually they don't have any value because of that, they'll have these little cards, old envelope, you know, the library envelopes inside them. So those are super cool. And, or they'll just have the date due on the back, or they have, this was the person that owned the book. She had her own little cards to say, these are my books. And then ex libris pages, or for the front cover of a book. And here's another library card, or library label, and another envelope, and another envelope. Okay, so those are really fun ones. So if you just look in books, you might be surprised what's sitting on your own shelf. These are really fun. These are old patterns, you know, that are sort of out of style, but still sort of interesting. Like projects that somebody never finished. And now they're just little scraps. And what else do we have in here? This is really neat. So this was an old sampler that someone started. So it would be neat to just kind of cut off a piece of this. I could actually probably cut this into 4ths and get a little bit of the embroidery on each one, or just, you know, keep this part. It's hard to say because you wouldn't want it to be too big, but very cool. These little felt patterns. That's more the same, little money. Here's another one. It's like a little template that shows you what a sweater is supposed to look like. So these would be fun little things just to sew inside of an album. Let's see, there's tons of these. Oh, there's more felt pattern. Oh, look, mushrooms. How cool is that? And one of those doll ones. And this is like someone started the crewel. That's what that kind of embroidery is called, crewel, C-R-E-W-E-L. And that's about it in this bin. And then just these little pieces, fabric pieces. You're supposed to put it all together, but some of the individual pieces are nice for just scraps. So, all right. And also another thing that I do is I will cut up shirts that are cute but maybe have a stain. So you just cut the stain out and then cut up little scraps for your junk journal. So that was a very quick run through of a lot of different things that I like to keep, and yeah, and you just never know. I guess I just look at everything and as a potential item. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it gave you some ideas for things that you might keep, that you might find there's a little beauty inside of it. And then maybe in the next video, we will look at how we incorporate this stuff into our junk journal. So that could be another fun next project. So, all right. Well, as always, it's always been thanks for coming along. And, if you like the videos and you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. And we'll talk to you later. All right, so I wanted to let you know that I do have a new digital in my Etsy shop that lists all like 110 different types of ephemera. So this video was just like a rundown of some of the things that I had on hand, but this list is 110. So if you are interested, it's only $1, and I have it in my Etsy shop, and the link is listed in the description of this video. So, if you're interested in that sort of thing, it's on there. Talk to you later.